Huh? There's this lady. You are in Togo. Where's the person that is? No, somebody's in Ivory Coast. Who's that person that is in Ivory Coast? Who's the person that is in Ivory Coast? Ashley Lapija. So I'm in Ghana now. Send a camera stand for me because I'm not able to position my. I didn't bring my camera stands, so I'm not able to position my phone. I have to keep putting it on top of water bottles. You know, the struggle is real. So sometimes I'm not able to use my microphone as I'm supposed to, as I wish to use it, but it's okay. All right, let us have a reflection. Tvameva mata japitam tvameva Tvameva bandhu jasaka tvameva Tvameva vidya dravinam tvameva Tvameva sharanam mama deva deva Tvameva sharanam mama deva deva Tvameva sharanam mama deva deva Tvameva mata chapitam tvameva Tvameva bandhu jasaka tvameva Tvameva vidya dravinam tvameva Tvameva sharanam mama deva deva Tvameva sharanam mama deva deva Tvameva sharanam mama deva deva Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopal Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha Om Gurave Namaha Om Gurave Namaha Om Gurave Namaha. There is a thank you very much for each and every one of you being here with us today. I know it is very early in your location, and to some of you it is late midnight where you are, over here in Ghana. It is greetings to all of you that is joining me for the first time. I appreciate you all. Like I said, it is early in the morning in some places where you are. Over here, it is also very, very early in the morning in Ghana. In Ghana right now, it is 2 o'clock, according to what my time is saying to me. That is what my time is saying, 2 o'clock. It is 2 o'clock in the morning here in Ghana. And being 2 o'clock in the morning, here in Ghana, in different part of the world, the time says different. You understand the emphasis of what I said. The time says. It is important because the time I say this, that is based on what it is that is reflected as my reality. What the time says in another person's dimension or location is also their own reality. So this class is being recorded on Facebook. It is in a reflection. If the variant of humans, can a human being be true to himself? Can a human being be true to himself? It is easy, we keep saying most often, one must be truthful to themselves. You need to be truthful to yourself. You need to be sincere with yourself. But because you are truthful does not mean that you are sincere. And because you are sincere does not mean that you are truthful. It is important. Can a human being just be true to himself? For him to be true to himself, can he, the human, can he be true to others also at the same time? The reality is, it is difficult for a human to be true to himself and at the same time true to other people. It is difficult. For the man or for the woman to be true to himself, for the man or for the woman to be true to others simply means he has to eliminate the factor of the I am in him. Are you understanding my point? Please understand properly what I'm trying to explain to you. For the man or the woman to be truly truthful to himself and at the same time truthful to other people, it means what? The factor or that element of I am. That one, these two syllables, these two sentences, I am, must be eliminated. It means the death of these two syllables, these two I am. I am this, I am that. It means the end of it. And because it is difficult for the man to be truthful to himself, for the man to be truthful to other people, the man is always in confusion. He's plagued left, right, center by thoughts, by questions, by the different informations that pours to his path. He's tormented. Now, what are the different variants of a man? The different variant of a man is the different roles and masks he wears while interacting with people. If you observe yourself, when you are in a conversation with people, even if the person is your immediate relatives, your immediate lover, your immediate friend, we are very, very, there is an automatic impulse that comes upon us that while relating with people, we cannot really relate with them as we are, even though we say, but I'm just with you the way I am. I'm just with you the way I am. We cannot really relate with people as we truly are. For the light of personality that we show to different people is different. It is never the same. And hence, observe yourself when you are talking with somebody and the person, or you are trying to pass on your information to the person, and the person is not accepting of that information, instantly there is a buffer that starts taking place inside of you. Instantly. There is a buffer. There is this, it's like you don't have control of it. You don't even know how it comes immediately to the surface. But the moment you start talking to somebody, there is a buffer that comes up instantly. That buffer of, I don't want this person to know too much. Are you understanding? The buffer of, I don't want this person to know too much, and I want this person to accept that which I'm trying to say to them. But we don't know how this buffer, it's like a bump. How does this buffer come to the surface? This buffer is what is called that which we use in protecting ourselves. There is an innate desire in the mind of every human being to protect themselves from what is perceived as the greed and there's another English for it, but I've forgotten. But there's an innate desire in each and every one of us to want to protect ourselves from the greed of other people. But that innate desire is very strong also to want to take advantage of the weakness of other people. It is. We don't want people to take advantage of our weakness, but we are very okay to take advantage of other people's weakness. So we ask ourselves, reality. We ask ourselves, which variant of me is actually the true me? For when you go to the market, it is a version of you that goes to the market. It is a different version of you that comes back home and cook the food. See, the version of you that goes to the market, even though it is the same body, that version of you is not in alignment with the version of you that comes home and cook the food. The version of you that is cooking the food is different from the version of you that is dishing out the food to different people. Let me give this quantity to this person. Let me give this quantity to this person. Let me give this quantity to this person. So you see, there is this destabilization in each and every one of us. This destabilization makes it difficult for us to know which version of us is actually acting. And that is why you will see there are certain times when someone says something, what you understand of what that person said is different. Let me give you an example. Some few weeks or few months ago, my wife was saying something to me. And in the process of her saying something to me, in my head, I was totally in a different place. She was speaking. Listen, my body was present with her. She was speaking, but my head was in a different place, even though I was present. And because my head was in a different place, I heard her, and I just started raising the decibel of my tone. I just started saying, but why are you talking like this and everything? I just started increasing my voice vocal. Why are you talking like this? Anger started coming out of me. And then she said, but what did you think I said to you? Have any of you been in that situation? What did you think I said to you that is making you to be angry right now? What did you really hear that is making you to be angry right now? And then I said, but weren't you saying this? She said, no, I didn't say that. But I said to her, but is this not what you were saying? She said, no, I didn't say that. Then what did you say? This is what I said. Then how is it that she was saying something different, but I was hearing something different? This is the variant of the human emotion. Are you understanding? There are instances in your life that you are speaking to somebody. The person is speaking to you. But what you are hearing the person saying is totally different. Totally different. And there are also instances, listen attentively to what I'm about to explain to you right now. There are also instances where you are with a person, you are speaking casually to a person, and there is an important information, you think that you've said it to the person, but you have not said it. And then you start asking the person, but didn't I tell you this? But you did not tell me that. Do you see that? There are instances in the brain functioning where, because we are associating with people all the time, we think that we have said certain things to somebody, and when we see that they are not acting, we say, but didn't I tell you to do this? But no, you didn't say it. And we start becoming angry that, but I told you, but you did not say it. And these are the instances of the different variations of the human intelligence, of the human mind, where we might be conversing with a person, we might have said certain things. In the process of the conversation, the version of ourselves have spoken out things in the head, and saying that, think that the other person has heard it, and it becomes a problem. These are part of that which becomes problems in marital matters, relationship matters, matters with father and children, children and their parents, brothers and sisters, sisters and brothers, where in a version of ourselves believe that it has communicated an information, and the other person did not hear the information. Now, what is happening in between this point here? This is what it is important to ask ourselves. What is happening in this point where inside I thought I have conveyed a message? The same thing also happens between a husband and a wife, where the husband thought that he have said certain things to the wife, and the wife is supposed to act based on that. But then when the husband is, but why but did I tell you this? But no, you didn't tell me. I didn't hear you. When did you say it? So what happens in between this moment? This is what is important to reflect about. What is it that is happening in between those moments where we believed we've communicated certain thing to somebody, and that person says, we did not say that? Which version of ourselves is communicating, and which version of ourselves is not communicating? Just like when you're going outside and somebody is saying certain things, and all of a sudden you become very angry. Are you understanding me? Please listen to me. Let us look at this, internally. Let's say you're going outside. Someone said certain things, or you think you heard certain things, and you get angry, and you start lashing out at the person, and the person said to you, but why are you shouting at me? Why are you getting angry at me? What did I say? What I said, is it even warranting this anger? There are many of us that have gotten so angry and so irritated with a person because we believe they said certain things. And when we hear again, when they repeat what they said, it really does not warrant that amount of emotion of anger that we put to it. Have any of you experienced that? That's a fact. Many of us have gotten so angry to a certain level that when we hear certain things, we think this is what the person is saying. But when that person repeats that word again, it is not what we hear. So what is it that makes it that what you hear inside of you is different from what the individual that speaks to you actually means? And this is where it is important to be mindful of our internal dialogue. There are so many internal dialogues that we have with the different versions of ourselves, that these versions of ourselves are not even aware. There's the version of you that is communicating A, another version of you is communicating C, but this version of you that is communicating C is not aware of what the version of you that is communicating A is saying. And this phase or this stage of disorientation that is inside becomes the struggle that every one of us will carry everywhere. And because it becomes the struggle that every one of us will carry everywhere, it becomes difficult for a man to be truthful and sincere with himself. Are you understanding, my friends? Are you understanding? It becomes difficult for a man to become truthful and sincere with himself. For what does it mean for a man to become truthful and sincere with himself? It means that all the versions and the variants of him must be in one unity. All the different variants, the different versions of him must all be in one. Then he can hear and not be distracted and not be like, oh, but I did not hear you. You see how this variant of the self is? The variant is so there, is so tough that somebody may be speaking directly in front of you right now. The person is directly in front of you. And the person is speaking, the word is coming out of the person's mouth, but you are not hearing anything. Somebody is speaking in front of you. The word is coming out of the person's mouth. And if the person asks you, what did you hear me say? You say, I don't know. I don't know. So where were you? Your physical body was present in the front of the person. You were looking at the person. You were looking at the person and the person was looking at you. Sometimes you might even be holding the person's hand. You might even be holding the person's hand and the person is holding your hand. And the person is speaking directly to you. You are looking at the person. But if the person asks you, so, what did you think about it? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. You never heard one single word that the person said. Why? Because we are battling with the different versions of ourselves that is trying to do different things at different times. A human is never completely whole. For there are versions of him that he himself or she herself is never consciously aware of. And these versions keeps jumping into the point, into the surface most often. And when they jump into the surface most often, we try so hard to suppress them, but then they make the life difficult. It is this variant that is there that makes it that even when you are being taught, your teacher is teaching you something. You are hearing the voice of the teacher is saying things to you, but the moment the class finishes, everything that the teacher have said disappears. And if you are asked, what did the teacher say? Can you repeat it back again to me? You cannot. You cannot. But you are present. Your body was physically present there in the class. Your face was there in the class. But there is something that was taking place. And what was that? People call it the distractions of the mind. I say it is not the distractions of the mind. It is the different variants. For you must understand that the different variant of you have their own mind. So it is said we have one mind. No, we don't have one mind. We have different minds that is associated with different variants, or you call it the different personality of the human body. Your mind that is associated with a different personality is different from your mind that is also with another personality. And the ancient teacher says the man is split into 7 personalities, 7 variants, which means you have 7 variants of yourself, and these 7 variants of yourself have their own respective minds, their own respective, sense organs, their own respective intelligence. All this, but then all of them is comprised and compressed in one body. I hope this is making sense to you and you're understanding. You don't have one mind. It is amazing. Just look at the body of the human being. Like, well, the mind, we all have one mind. We don't have one mind. We don't have. For your minds are different according to the personalities that is playing and is coming to the surface. The minds are different according to what? The different personalities that is coming to the surface and is interacting. Just like I'm asking a question right now. Which of your mind and which of your personality is interacting with me right now? Which of it? Until you sit down to really look at it properly, and then you see truthfully, even though my body is one whole body, but the variants of my body are different. And because the variants of my body are different, so also is their mind. And their mind is also completely. The variant of your body or the personality of your body that you use when you are in anger, that personality has its own mind. The personality of yourself that you come into when you are in a place of worship, that personality also have his own mind. So a man or a human being keeps jumping from one personality to another personality. Every day of his life, a man jumps from one personality to another personality. one personality to another personality, one personality to another personality. And in all of this jumping, he travels, let us call it traveling. In all of this traveling, one personality, in all of this traveling to all the different personality, all the personalities are not aware of each other. They are not aware of each other. And hence, true awareness comes when all your personalities with their different minds become conscious of each other. When all your personality becomes conscious of each other. Oh, okay, this is my past. This is this personality. Oh, this is this one. Oh, this is this one. When they become conscious of each other, only then do you start becoming peaceful. Am I making sense to you? A different mind governs a different emotion, yeah? Only then do you actually start becoming what? Peaceful. And not just do you become peaceful, only then do you become understanding of the movement of how life is functioning around you. For this different movement of the personality, you travel through different personalities every day of your life. Every year of your life, you travel through 108 forms of personalities. Every year. Are you understanding? Every year, you exhibit 108 types of personality. And these 108 types of personality have their own 108 minds. All of them. So now, what is the key triggers to this personality? What is the key triggers? It is important to ask. Okay, if I travel or I exhibit 108 personalities in a year, what is the trigger to it? What triggers these personalities to come to the surface? Even when you are with your husband, when you are with your wife, when you are with your children, when you are with your father, your mother, you must exhibit these 108 types of personality in a given year. In a given year, you exhibit it. So now, because you exhibit these different types of personality, the man is a confused being. The man is a confused being. For the different personalities that is exhibiting keeps him confused. So we want to bind these personalities together. To bind it together, we do meditation. We do mantra japas as means and medium to do what? To bind the personalities together. But then in some cases, it becomes so difficult. But there is a deeper underlying factor that is responsible for the birth of these personalities. There is a deeper factor. Am I communicating to you guys? Are you listening to me with intelligence and not with emotion? There is a deeper factor that is responsible for the birth of these different personalities. And what are those deeper factors? These deeper factors that is responsible for the birth of these personalities are associated with the different ancestral traumas that your ancestors have experienced. For your personality is not your consciousness. Your personality, the different variant of your personality is associated with your different DNA. So you see, your different DNA. Which is what? The flow of the blood in your body. The construct of blood in your body. When you understand the flow of blood, and see, your blood moves in different directions. Your blood. And because your blood moves in different directions, it brings to the surface different personalities. Different what? Personalities. And because it brings to the surface different personalities, the human being, me and you, we are tormented by the different versions of our ancestors that wants to come to the surface. The different minds of your ancestors that wants to come to the surface. Oh yeah. Yeah. There is the crooked side of the personality. When that crooked side, which is the cunning side of that personality, comes to the surface, it speaks everything cunningly. It thinks everything cunningly. You don't need to do any extra effort for it. It just automatically functions. And then there is the religious side of that personality. And that is also what determines how in your day, in your month, your actions are not fixed. Don't you observe it? In your day, in your month, the activities you do are not fixed. Today you are spiritual, today you are religious, tomorrow you are not religious. Tomorrow you are very interested in wanting to sing and dance. Next tomorrow you are interested in something else, in something different. Another day it is something different. Another day you want to do research. Some days you are just so fired up. Oh, I want to just keep writing and keep typing and keep writing, And then other days you're just like, oh, what is the essence of all of this? And you keep like, what is wrong? What is wrong with me? Why can't I not be stable in one thing? Guess what? It is not about you not wanting to be stable in one thing. It's because you are fighting a war of personality. A war of variance. A war of personality and a war of variance. And because you are fighting this war of personality, there's this war of personality that is taking place inside of you. And hence, the ancient teacher says the best way to be able to put all of these under lock and key is meditative awareness. japa mantra. To do what? To give a direction and to lock all these personalities. In my Father's house, there are many mansions. You've heard that statement before. It's an English Bible word. What do you think that means? If you remove the astrological perspective out of it, if you remove the astrological perspective out of it, if you remove the zodiac, configurations of the stars, the perspective of that out of it, it simply means in my Father's house, there are many mansions, which is you. You are the body that is the house. You are the body that is the house, and in this body that is the house, there are many minds with many personalities living and occupying different versions, different parts of your body. The many minds of a personality, yes, harvest goddess. Are you understanding my point, my friends? In my Father's house, there are many mansions. In your body, there are many personalities living, personalities, variants of yourself, occupying different areas and different bodies. And they all have their unique mind. They all have what? Their unique mind. And guess what? On many occasions, they are not conscious of each other. That is why when you dream, you sleep and you dream, your body, your personality that is dreaming and the mind that is dreaming, you see, the personalities sometimes bleed into each other. The personalities sometimes bleed into each other. It's like it crashes into each other. So that is you, when you sleep, your personality that is sleeping and dreaming and running around, when it wakes up, it carries the emotion because it has its own mind. So the mind of you that wakes up starts worrying. What was that I saw? What was that I saw? I saw something in the dream. What was that? Is this making sense to you? You see, the part of you that is awake is unconscious. The mind of you that is awake is not conscious of that mind that was dreaming. It's not. And because it is not conscious of that mind that was dreaming, when it fully wakes up and that other mind disappears, and the one that wakes up, that is listening to me right now, wakes up, but I had a dream, but I don't know, I've forgotten what I dreamt about. Well, what is the meaning of that dream? What does that dream mean? 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 Then we start going around. Can you tell me the meaning of this dream? What is the meaning of this? I saw something, but I don't understand it. Because what? The personality that was dreaming is different from the personality that has woken up. The mind of that personality. See, your dream makes sense to the person, to the version of you that was dreaming. Are you understanding? Please listen attentively to what I'm saying to you. Your dream makes perfect sense to the version of you that was dreaming. It does not make sense to the version of you that wakes up. The version of you that was sleeping and dreaming, everything it is seeing in the dream state, which you call the dream state, it understands it all. understand? The version of you that was sleeping and dreaming, whether it is seeing a tiger, or it is seeing a mountain, or it is climbing a hill, or it is running away from people, or it is flying on the air, everything that version of you was doing, it makes perfect sense to it. It understood the reason and the purpose and everything why that was happening. But because it is a different version of you, when the other version of you now wakes up, it starts questioning, what was that thing that I was seeing? What does that mean? It starts questioning. And and because it starts questioning, it starts getting more confused. Are you understanding with intelligence and not with emotion, my friends? My friends, are you hearing me with intelligence and not with emotion? So when you look at it and you really see it, then tell me, what then do we use to trouble ourselves? If not lack of understanding of the different versions of ourselves that is acting. So we use the lack of understanding, not knowing, when we are not conscious that there's different version of ourselves that is acting. So we go to meet somebody. Can you interpret the meaning of this dream for me? What does this dream mean? I saw this dream. What does it mean? But guess what? To you that was the dreamer, the dream, that what you saw in your dream makes perfect sense to you. Am I communicating with somebody? Are you listening to me? I need to know that you guys are listening to me so that, shouldn't be that I'm just talking like that. To you that is the dreamer, everything that you were seeing in your dream, it makes perfect sense. Because, understand, your mind that was dreaming and your personality that you were using in dreaming, it makes perfect sense. Everything it was seeing, it understands. But because when it wakes up to a different personality. And because it wakes up to a different personality with a different mind. Now that mind of the personality that it wakes up to start questioning the mind of the other personality. And because it starts questioning the mind of the other personality, it's like, what is that? What is that? Just like when you're dreaming, you see different people. In your waking state, you don't know these people, but the version of you that was dreaming knows them. You were dreaming. In your waking state, the people you see in your dream, the people and the places you were interacting with in your dream, the version of you that was dreaming knows all these people. But the version of you that wakes up does not know them, has no relationship with them. And that is why the ancient teacher says, a man is not one, but multiple. There is no one man. A man is multiple. There is no one woman. A woman is multiple, but compressed in one body. And this multiple also have different hands, different heads. So you've heard and you've seen the images of God with so many heads and so many hands. Is it not? Have you not? Yes, I have. When you go into the Hindu mythology, it always depicts God with so many hands, with so many head, holding so many different instruments. These are the different versions of the human personality. These are what the different variants of the human personality, and all of them are compressed in one body. The hands are many, the heads are many, but the body is one. A man has different personality that is bound in one body. Different variant of a man's personality bound in one body. And these different variants are actively doing different things. They come to the surface. They show their face. They do different things. So when you see someone doing something that is considered as, abominable, you ask yourself the first question: which version of this person is doing this? For when that person was doing that action that was abominable, there's the mind that is connected to that abominable personality was accepting of it. But when the person gets caught, a different version of him comes to the surface. And he's like, but I don't know what happened there. No, but I didn't do it. I didn't do it. The same thing also with people that sleepwalk, or they do certain things, but then when you're like, but when did I do that? I didn't do that. Or some people were doing something and they fell unconscious and they wake up, they cannot remember what happened. They can't. If you ask them, but is it not what you said? No, when did I say that? It's not about their lying. It's about how the personality functions. The variance of a man's personality. The variance of a human being. There is no human being that is just one. No. There is no human being that is one. My respectful greetings to you too, Miss Tina Tomato Karika Papai. Until and unless you start accepting this different variant of yourself, only then does true understanding of life comes to the surface. Only then. It is not about how we try to sugarcoat it. Many of us, we like to try to sugarcoat these personalities, we like to sugarcoat the personalities, we give it different names and different, things. But only when we stop sugarcoating these personalities and really see it as it is, only then do we really start becoming stable. Only then. A few days ago, a lady came to see me, in my office here in Ghana. She came to see me. And while seeing me, she was asking me questions. She was asking me questions. And I was like, Every time she comes to see me, she does not complain so much. She just asks questions. But then I was watching this woman. You see, the version of herself that comes in contact with a spiritual person becomes humble. And that is the reality with each and every one of us. The version of ourselves that comes in contact with a spiritual person becomes humble. Let me ask questions. But that same person When the version of themselves leave the spiritual person's atmosphere and goes out, a different version of themselves come to the surface. A different version of themselves altogether. It is, the body is the same, but the version, the variant are not the same. So the moment the person leaves the atmosphere of that spiritual person, it goes outside, the person becomes a different person. So one of the trigger of your different versions, of your different personalities, are the people you associate with. It is not that association is what corrupts you. Association only brings the version of yourself that is inside. It only wakes it up. Association does not corrupt you. It only wakes the version of yourself that is dormant. It wakes it up. Are you understanding my point? Are you understanding my point? So when people say, oh, this person was a good person before, but because he started associating with this person, he became a bad person. No. Association is not what corrupts you. It only brings to the surface the version of yourself that was dormant. It was dormant, meaning it was sleeping. So it only wakes it up. It only wakes it up. And that is everything we are doing with different people, meeting different people. For you must understand that even when you are present with a saintly person, you might also be associating with a saintly person, and the crooked part of you becomes awakened. Just look at the irony of it. Look at the irony of it. Somebody is associating with a spiritual man, a saintly person, and that person starts stealing. And then the same person or another person is associating with a thief and start becoming saintly. What is the cause of this? Association is not what corrupts you. It only awakens what is lying dormant inside of you. For you may be in the presence of saintly people and you start doing the most abominable actions. The most abominable and atrocious things you start doing while in the presence of saintly people. And you go to the presence, you get to the presence, another person gets to the presence of people that are extremely terrible, that person starts doing actions that are extremely saintly. What creates all of these things? Is a question to you guys that is listening to the sound of my voice. What creates this different personality? Is it that the saintly person is not saintly enough? Or is it that the people that were terrible were saintly, and hence they awaken saintliness inside of you, and the one that was saintly was not saintly, and hence they awaken crookedness inside of you? What will you say? What do you say about that? What will you say is responsible for that? What will you say about that? Let us interact, please. Let us interact before I end this introspection that we're doing today. Your inner man or genetics. Good. We can go deeper into that. They choose to be inspired and bring it to the surface. So you are telling me that a person that is associating with a spiritual man and start stealing and start doing things that is extremely terrible. And then there's another one that is in the midst of terrible people and start becoming saintly. What is influencing these two of them? Are you not supposed to be terrible when you are in the presence of terrible people? How is it that you are terrible when you are in the presence of saintly people, and then you are saintly when you are in the presence of terrible people? They are humans before those titles. As you said, it's already inside of them. Yes, but I want us to go deeper. That is the point of this conversation. You can be whoever the Lord wants you to be, I believe. Okay? But no, we are not looking at that. We are looking at the different versions of ourselves. How is it that a version of yourself that is extremely saintly comes to the surface when you are in the midst of people that are that you call extreme sinners? And the version of yourself that is extremely cruel and wicked and cunning comes to the surface when you are in the presence of people that are saintly. Huh? Why does the demon in you comes to the surface when you are in the presence of saintly people? And why does the saint in you comes to the surface when you are in the presence of people that are demonic? We are naturally animalistic. Maybe the person resonates with their ancestor in their DNA. Maybe that person resonated with it. You guys are trying. You guys are trying. The yin and yang that is within us. I want you to go deeper. Let us think deeper. And to all of you that is listening, please put your comment. Let me hear your part. Let me hear your part. Because it has always been there. It only need an energy to help it manifest. So you are saying that the energy of the saintly man only increases the cruelty in the other person. And the energy of the cruel man only increases the piety in the other person. Is that what you're saying? Thank you very much, bros, you mean. Is that what you're saying? How can it be so? How can it be so? If your association shapes your aspiration, if energy is contagious, just like you guys are saying, energy is contagious, it is influence. If you are with a saintly person, shouldn't you be influenced to be saintly? And if you are with a cruel person, wouldn't you be influenced to become cruel? But why is it the opposite for some people? That is the point. Why is it the opposite for some people? When they are with saintly people, they become cruel. They become cruel. And when some people are with negative people, they start becoming saintly. They start becoming very compassionate. Some people, when they are with celestial people, saintly people, they start becoming very, very, manipulative of human. They start becoming very, very, they start taking very advantage of human. But there's some people, when they are with extremely wicked people, they start becoming very saintly. So what is the cause of this? But the percent isn't equal. You are not listening decent. This is the thing. I just said something. Which personality of you is listening to me right now? It is what I just said. Which version of you is listening to me right now? Because they are faking. No, they are not faking. The saintly people are not faking. Ancestry. Yes, because darkness is the mother of light. No. When the two energy didn't match, none of that. None of that. None of that at all. It's not about the two energies are not matching. All of these things are just what we try to use to give to ourselves. But now it is not about whether the energies are matching or the energies are not matching. It is none of that. It goes deeper. Ancestral war, internal. Okay, let me leave that with you guys to keep reflecting about. And do leave your comment in the comment section. I'm going to stop now. Thank you guys on Facebook. The universe bless and strengthen you. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Ciao.